Hello.
No, we need to be the same size.
We gotta be the same size, please.
Same size.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were letting it play first, and I'm just, hello. This is awkward.
Okay, that was very funny.
I loved it.
That was very funny. And you know what? If there's any issues with copyright, that's really gonna help because your voice cut over the part where there was music. So perfect. Perfect.
You ate that.
10 out of 10.
You
No.
just told us what we were doing too, and I did not listen.
Listen, when you get a little bit nervous, your brain
Right.
doesn't register things fully. So it's not like you weren't listening.
Thank
Yeah.
I
My
get
brain just lost the plot for a second. That's okay. Mine loses the plot all the time.
Valid. Well,
Sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hi.
in. Thank you so much for being here. If you don't know me, I'm Gus. This is Val. And if you'd like to do an introduction, Heather, a sweet little introduction
Hello.
of our sweet Heather.
My name is Heather. I'm so happy to be here. I have a channel on YouTube too. I like to talk about Amway and MLM coaches, and I was so excited to do a stream today about Rich DeVos. I can't wait.
horrible person.
Horrible person.
Gus
Yeah.
forgot who Betsy DeVos was until like 30 minutes ago. So she knows the face, but she doesn't know the name. So I looked her up and she was like, no, her? They're related?
All I can say is no wonder they're related.
Her? Yeah.
I can't
Ridiculous. I'm so excited. If you are not following Heather, her channel is in the description. So please make sure you check her out.
Mhm.
She's streaming a
Nice.
lot about Amway. You stream a lot about Beachbody, like you said about the MLM coaches. And you have a great variety on your channel. So if you're not following her, make sure you check it out. And you know a lot about Amway.
Oh, yeah. No, you are
Yes.
a treasure trove of information. I'm so
Thank
excited to
you.
learn from you today.
So-
fuck yeah.
That is one of my what?
Cussed a little bit.
It's okay. That is one of my questions. Do you have like a personal connection to Amway, or is that just one of the
Yeah.
companies that you're most interested in?
That is a great question. I do not. I've never been in an MLM. I do not have an MLM connection personally, but I was doing streams and someone who's been watching me for a while said, hey, you should do Dexter Yeager. And I said, who's that? Researched, found a good video, but went down the rabbit hole. And then I found a bunch of other big distributors, found Rich DeVos, found Doug DeVos, who's Rich's son, which you both could cover him too. There's lots of speeches because he's a big figure in Amway now. And yeah, so that's how I fell down the rabbit hole. I think it was last August 2022 was my first Amway video.
Wow.
Interesting. So it's been
Interesting.
over a year.
Wow.
How time flies when you're
I
having fun.
know.
Did you have anything that you wanted to ask Amway related before we hop into the video, or anything that you wanted to say in
So,
particular?
do we want to talk about the Amway decision and all that? Like, just kind of let people know how Amway became the building block of what MLM looks like? Because I know that kind of confused me at first. So, if we want to like talk about it a little bit, maybe I feel like
I did not research that.
Okay.
I do not know the details on that. Do you?
I know a
that's
little
okay.
bit.
I know a little bit. So I just figured we could so I know that they ended up winning a court ruling saying that they weren't an MLM.
Oh, no, they weren't a pyramid scheme.
No, that they weren't a
an
pyramid
illegal
scheme.
pyramid scheme.
Yes, they were not an illegal pyramid scheme. And basically they got to like make these Amway rules to like say, oh, we're doing all of this that makes us not an illegal pyramid scheme.
Mhm.
And basically all of the MLMs started using that and like parading like, oh, we're just like Amway. We're not like other girls. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how that went.
Yes. Richard DeVos also has a lot of political connections.
Oh.
So people think maybe that could have swayed the ruling a little bit. Obviously, we'll never know. We were never in the judge's head, but like the numbers are there. We all know that he was a huge donor to the Republican Party and he had lots of political connections. And those political connections still exist in the form of Betsy DeVos, who we unfortunately all know. Yep, I agree. Heather has great Amway videos. Please check her out.
Yay. And you're right. That decision was in 1979. I just looked it quickly. And they were ruled to be a legitimate business opportunity, not a pyramid scheme.
Yep. And
Good
that
job
pretty
doing
much.
the research because I didn't do it.
No, thank you.
No,
And
you're
you took
fine.
notes on this whole video, and you have a lot of information
Thank
on
you.
this person in particular. So this
Yes.
company was founded by Jay
Jay Van Andel and Rich DeVos.
Jay Van Andel and Rich DeVos, who are we are going to cover Rich DeVos today.
Yep.
And if you're interested in Jay Van Andel, I'm sure that you've talked about him more before in the
I have
past.
a little bit, yeah. Not a ton. He's not super public, or he wasn't super public. But yeah, I've covered him a little bit. So could I go through my little intro?
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about who Rich DeVos is, but you did research on this piece.
Yes. He was born on March 4th, 1926 in a place called near Grand Rapids, Michigan in Ada.
Which is where Amway started, right?
I think so. I think that's where their headquarters are.
Okay, there's something with Grand Rapids. There is some connection with Amway. Either that's like a big epicenter, or that's where their headquarters are, something like that. Sorry, did not mean to interrupt. Continue.
No problem. And he actually met Jay Van Andel in high school. And they both served in the military in the Air Force. Rich served from 44 to 46, Jay from 42 to 45. Rich passed away in 2018 and Jay in 2004. And interesting, they were actually distributors with Nutrilite starting in 1949, and they had a big distributorship by 1958 of 5,000 distributors in Nutrilite. In April 1959, they and the other top distributors formed the American Way Association. Amway. And then in 1972, Amway bought, it just said a controlling interest of Nutrilite. And then in 1997, they just took full ownership of the company.
So they were distributors, and then they started their own thing, and then they bought their old company.
Yes.
Huh. Yeah.
And they brought other top distributors from Nutrilite with them. So there's they have founding families. They have the founding family of the founder side. It's outrageous. They have G2, which are the sons of the founders, and then the sons and daughters, G3, the grandchildren of the founders. So they have those founding families, and then they have the founding families, which are the first distributors in Amway, which is the Dutts, the Hansons, and someone else, the Victors.
That's a little culty.
That's very culty. That it's whole families, not just one person.
Yeah.
It's the whole family.
Yeah. And I want to read this. The Amway founders had a private meeting with the president of the time of that FTC investigation. Afterwards, they were able to escape being shut down. That's a very important detail, and I thank you for sharing this with us, because obviously we knew that there's some political connections, but
didn't know exactly how the strings were pulled.
So obviously you can infer what may have happened at that meeting. We're never gonna know, but we can infer, especially because there were lots of donations made.
Sorry, no one else was in the room where it happened.
Shut up! We're not doing Hamilton right now.
I was a theater kid. I'm so sorry.
I don't care. Put it away. Put it away. I'm sorry.
Turn it off.
No. We're not going to do another song. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're about to start talking about one of the founders of Amway, Rich DeVos, with our good friend Heather. Please check her out if you haven't. And Tisha's here. Hi. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Amway is based in Ada, Michigan.
Okay.
Does Amway sell health insurance?
Don't think
so. Or is that Primerica?
I think that's Primerica.
I think it's Primerica. I thought that Amway sold more household items.
Yeah.
And they kind of want to replace everything in your house. Yes. I remember I don't know if this was on a podcast or if I heard this on your stream or where I heard this, but I remember it was an upline that came into somebody's house and looked at all of their products and marked the ones that they had to get rid of because they needed to be Amway products.
Yep. I've talked about that. It might have been my video.
Okay. That's ridiculous.
That's so bad.
That's as creepy as it gets.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before I hit play on this very kitschy video?
I'm just our office here. I'm kicking shit over under the desk.
You're gonna look around. You're like, what happened to this place?
Did a tornado come through here?
Did you speed up this video? I think it could be at least 1.25.
You know what? I forgot to speed it up because I downloaded it late.
Okay.
So it's heads up. It's gonna be a little bit slow.
Okay, that's fine.
But if there is a way, can you speed it up in StreamYard or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay, probably not then. Probably
I'll look it up
not.
real quick. Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay. Let's just get the show on the road.
Let's do
ready.
it.
Oh my.
So Heather told us before the stream started that his shtick is very much like kindly old guy. Like, oh, my name is Rich DeVos, and I'm the head of this place, and I would make you a cup of coffee, and I believe in you, and you want to go watch baseball or something like that. You know what I mean?
Throw around the old pigskin. Why does that feel like his vibe? I'm sorry.
He's a cute old guy. I feel like I would want to have coffee with him, actually, or like play chess.
Yeah.
Like if he wasn't the head of Amway, I'd be like, he'd be a cool grandpa.
He'd be cool, but apparently that's his shtick. And I do wonder if anybody knew him in person, and if they knew him behind the scenes. I would love to know, like, is this what he's really like?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
interesting.
So apparently Primerica and WFG are the main insurance ones. Amway sells health, beauty, and home products, but they used to sell nearly everything in the 90s. So they probably like, ooh, we got to do everything. And then it's like, ooh, we got to scale back.
Yeah. Would you mind if I turn the camera off for a second while we watch this first clip?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Much obliged.
1, 2, 3. Down. Thank you. Try that again. 1, 2, 3. Down.
What? I'm not a dog.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a. No soy perra.
Oh,
dude.
My God. He did not just.
1, 2, 3. Down.
Let's try this again.
Like, I'm trying so hard not to cuss because I don't want to get demonetized, but like, bruh.
Yeah, love some Dick. Yep, thank you, Dick. Because his nickname is Dick. His nickname is Dick, and I'm not. Oh my God. See, even if I'm trying to not be gross,
I'm calling him Rich. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, his name is Richard.
Richard.
Call him Mitcher. Okay, I'm not gonna talk. How about that? Yeah, I love some Rich DeVos lore. That's what. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting speech. If you don't like the whole if you don't like hearing just the typical MLM rah-rah, then this is not going to be for you. But I don't think there's anything particularly triggering in this video.
No.
Yeah, what is happening? I think he's trying to get them all to sit
and
down. What movie is that from? That's got to be down.
What is that from?
That's
oh my
from
God,
a movie.
My dad always references that, but like as a joke, like when he's trying to be like, hey, chill out. He's like, sit down. And I'm like, what is that from?
We don't know any of the
I know it's a joke though, so it's like fine.
No, this is cult practice. No.
Yeah, he's literally trying to control us like fucking dogs. I'm like, what?
We're allowed to cheer for you, sir. Don't tell us to sit down.
Exactly. There's ways that you can say, oh, okay, thank you, everybody. You can take a seat now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like ordering us to sit down.
Like, hey, thanks for being excited that I'm here. You can sit now. You don't have to stand for me.
Yep.
Like, bruh.
You have to read this with the David Attenborough voice. The cult leader is telling his flock to chill the fuck out. Like, oh, so horrible.
Oh my God.
This man.
Try that again. 1, 2, 3. Down. Thank you. And I want to thank all of you. And it is a joy to be with you this evening. I have been inspired. I am going to qualify for something higher. I haven't figured it, but I'll tell you.
Is that supposed to be funny?
I don't
like so. Haha? Question
mark? That's something that's really interesting about this video is look, I was listening to this in an In-N-Out drive-thru, okay? So I was pretty happy and excited, okay? So I was in a good mood when I pre-screened this video. I only laughed one time. And the crowd does not only laugh one time.
They laugh at everything he says, though.
That's what I think is so interesting.
Mhm.
You know, like they laugh at everything he says.
Yeah.
Like that's their way of appeasing him. Like, oh, you're so
Yeah.
funny, Grandpa.
Mhm.
Ha ha ha.
Ha.
You know, and I'm not calling him Grandpa, but like that's what you do with your grandpa.
It's like,
Mhm.
oh, haha, funny joke, Grandpa.
Yeah,
Like,
you're so funny. Like,
you're so
okay,
funny.
whatever. You know,
Except my grandpa's actually funny.
my grandpa is funny. Oh, if you want more anti-MLM content, check out Lushy in DC did a stream today. This does seem like a cult gathering. I think it is one of their conferences from the looks of
Yep.
it. So check them out. And then also Echo is doing Tishmas.
Yes, Tishmas
Right.
is always good.
Yeah, what if they weren't standing?
I know. He just assumed.
Yeah, sit down. I'm like, I'm already sitting.
I'm sat, mate.
I'm sat. He has a very interesting history in politics too. He had a lot of influence. Yep.
Ooh, if anybody knows anything.
We have the comment about them having the meeting with the president before the FTC, and we know that he donated a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently at MLM meetings, every mild comment is the funniest thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's kind of like,
I was gonna say this just reminds me of church.
but the thing is, at church, I don't feel like I have to say hallelujah every 2 seconds. Somebody else just says hallelujah. I don't.
Okay, but you haven't been to a church that was highly charged.
That's true.
I have.
That's
I've
true.
been to a church that was very highly culty.
Okay.
You haven't.
All due respect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember my middle school experience. I almost got inducted into a cult.
Oh yeah. That was,
You know what happened.
well, nobody else knows what happened.
Okay, so basically, I was friends with someone in middle school, and she was a part of a group that, now that I look at it, is extremely culty. I'm not going to say the name of it because then you'd probably know that's just
very local.
Very local. Like, it's a super local thing, so I'm not going to say the name of it. But it was just, like, every time you went, it was a thing. It was like a whole, like, event. They made everything into an event. And even if you were just like doing a group, like I would do the small groups with them because I just wanted to hang out with my friend. Little did I know I was gay for her. But basically I would just do anything with her because the only time she wanted to hang out with me outside of school was to go to church with her. And it wasn't because, it was basically because they were trying to get her to get anyone they could into the group. Like they had a club at the school. Like they were very much trying to get everyone in on the shtick. And I don't know, it was always such a charged experience. I always left wanting to cry. And one time I broke down in the shower at 13 years old because I just thought I was the biggest sinner on earth and I had to repent.
And that's not the kind of experience that we had at church.
I had a very good experience at church growing up. You know what I mean? It was wonderful. Everyone was very sweet. I had some great Bible study teachers and whatever. Like, that was not the experience. But then when I went there, they just made me feel like everything about me was wrong and that I needed to change it with them. Does that make sense?
It does
Yeah.
make sense.
And that's not how church made me feel growing up. So I know there was something different going on there.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I've had good church experiences too.
Mm-hmm. Is this Factress?
I think so.
PH actress.
PH
PH
actress. Okay,
actress.
thank
Okay.
you. I'm like, is it the fact? Like fact?
Yeah.
Fact actor? Okay, sorry. The likeness to church is intentional. The leaders also give the Hunts a church service on Sunday at weekend functions. You know who else does the Sunday
Wait, isn't that
services?
Monet?
Monet.
Monet does that too.
And Stuart is the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually a pastor?
I mean,
so.
I don't know, but they have him do sermons.
Oh.
I don't know if he's ordained.
That's my thing. Like, is he ordained?
I don't know.
Or are they just like, he's our leader?
I don't
Follow
know.
the leader, everybody.
I don't know.
God.
But that it brings up like that charged feeling
Yeah.
of church, which is only supposed to be connected to church.
Yeah.
You know, once you're bringing that into like other stuff, it's like, oh, now God is in here. Oh God. Yeah, it's like your boss trying to make jokes in a meeting. You have no choice but to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be weirded out if my job wanted me to attend sermons too.
Unless you work in like a Christian charity or a church.
Yeah, unless your work is connected to some sort of religious institution. In that
Yeah.
case, it does make sense. But
Yeah.
just random job you find on Indeed that has nothing to do with religion, trying to get you to go to
Yeah.
church,
Like my uncle, he works in music, and for a
Mhm.
lot of his jobs, he works at the church.
Yeah.
So he would have to attend a certain amount of sermons every week and do the music for it, right? But that's his job, you know?
yeah.
But if it's like, oh, you have to be in the pews, you know, worshiping just to, it's, you know, don't
No.
tell people how
Don't
to
tell people-
worship,
yeah.
when to worship, where to worship, etc.
yeah.
Leave them alone.
Very much that.
Yeah, that's their decision.
Agreed.
What a powerful group of people we have.
This is also interesting that this is translated into another language down here. I can't tell which language this is
I
out of
was
my
gonna
own
ask, does anyone
ignorance. This could be Urdu,
know?
which is spoken in Pakistan and in India, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know because I know that Amway is very international.
Mhm. Couldn't either
There's-
confirm nor deny.
I googled it or YouTubed it. That I don't know where I got this video from. I see ABN Taiwan or
Mm,
a channel called Passion to Freedom.
mm.
Or
Maybe it's the language they speak in Taiwan that I'm not sure if it's Taiwanese or if it's a
Yeah.
different language.
Oh, someone says Thai. I believe.
Thai, I believe. Okay.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, yeah, because I was
Yeah.
gonna ask about that earlier, but I've totally forgot.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, that just goes to show they're really trying to get this in as many places as possible because the last time that we did a collab, it was a training that was based, I think, in India. And so I think that's why my mind went to India.
Yeah. I don't think it was based in India, but it was a man who was huge in Amway in India.
Okay. That's why I
'Cause knew
remember
there was some connection to
there
it.
was a
Yeah.
connect. Yeah, they're
And
they're
Bill
everywhere.
Britt's company, Brit Worldwide, is massive in India.
Okay.
Wait, hold
That was
on.
connection.
What's the name of the niece again?
The
His-
niece?
Betsy DeVos?
Betsy DeVos. Betsy
Oh, yeah.
DeVos being his niece and the whole thing being called Amway, the American way, trying to get that shit all over the world.
Yeah.
That is so creepy.
Yeah. It's called hashtag colonization.
Hashtag imperialism.
Yeah.
Don't like it. It just makes me feel weird. Ugh.
The spreading of free enterprise, small government, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Like,
If you're
if that's
poor,
what they
it's your
want,
fault.
like,
He
if that's
said
what they
that
want to do, let them do
Let
it.
them do it. Why do you have to do it?
You know, you don't have to do them for them and show them, oh, this is the right way. You know,
What was that thing we learned in history? It was like the father complex or whatever, where
Mhm.
like a country would like baby another country and be like, "I'm gonna grow you up from the ground up." I remember that one teacher teaching us that.
yeah. Also, the manifest destiny thing. It's kind
Yeah.
of similar. Apparently Thailand is a popular country for MLM subsidiaries in Asia.
Mm.
I didn't know that. I knew it was big in Indonesia, but I didn't know it was
Okay,
big
yeah,
in
I knew it was.
Thailand.
I didn't know it was big in Thailand.
So thank you for that.
Huh.
Yeah, multiple people are saying that it's Thai, so thanks for
Okay.
that. Apparently Amway's in trouble in India right now.
Oh,
I don't know anything about that.
I have
Interesting.
no clue about that, but if you would like to spill the tea, we are here.
Spill it.
We are here.
I will also research it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
Betsy's the daughter-in-law, not the niece.
So
Apologies.
not by blood, but still.
Yeah, colonialism. Trademark. Trademark. Who
Right.
did it better, the U.S. or the U.K.? Share your thoughts below. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Please
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. And when I mean better, I mean worse. Okay, let's just continue. I would also put up Belgium in there. If I could fight any
yeah.
historical figure, it would be King Leopold. I would.
Oh,
roast him
I
like a monkey.
would
Okay.
pitchfork him in the
Okay,
stomach.
shut up. Okay.
have here tonight. I am humbled and overwhelmed by these award winners that I've heard, and then yet all of you are winners and qualifying.
Girl, sure we are.
Sure. How much money are they making? Quickly.
Sure we are. Let's all notice something on the podium. This doesn't say Amway. This says Quickstar, which is an Amway branch, if I'm not mistaken.
They've changed their names a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Quickstar was one of the names of Amway. I don't remember the other names. I googled this earlier.
Okay.
Amway name changes. Let's see. Quickstar was one. Wow.
So it's just a different name for it. It's not a different
Of
brand.
course,
Okay.
it's not telling me now. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think PH Actress may know more about how Amway has changed their name. I think it's because Amway has always had a shitty reputation. And so I think Quickstar is a way to distance themselves from their bad reputation connected to their name, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, and this is the same event when Dexter Yeager was honored. He's going to talk about it later. Only a few people at that event were actually getting honored with money, right?
Sure, of course.
The majority of those people there to see Dexter get his big award.
Yeah.
We're not making money.
No.
Yeah.
But of course, we're all being honored today. It's about all of us.
All of us.
Sure.
You're not getting any money, but it's about you too, you little pleb.
Sure.
What?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Sorry, I'm mad at these
Amway's
people.
under investigation in India for fraud.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can see PH Actress's comment as well about Quickstar.
Amway went by Quickstar briefly when it first went online in the early 2000s. It was trying to rebrand itself as a shiny new internet service.
Oh, why does that make so much sense?
That makes so much sense. And that's why they have all the branches, and that's why they're trying to. That's why they don't call it Amare. They call it the Mental Wellness Company.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder to Google. And so we got a little bit of timeline for the expansions. So Amway, we think started. When did it start? Do you know the date?
1959.
Okay, so it started in the U.S. in 59. Okay, it expanded to Australia in 71. So it didn't even take 20 years for it to start expanding. Parts of Europe in 73. It went to Asia in 74. It made it to Japan in 79. To Latin America, like overall, 85. To Thailand specifically, 87. To China in 1995. It made it to the continent of Africa in 1997. To India and Scandinavia in 98, which, if you don't know, Scandinavia is usually considered to be Finland, Norway, and Sweden. And then to Vietnam and I missed Ukraine in 2003, Russia in 2005, and to Vietnam in 2008. So they have gone to as many places as possible.
Scheisse, dude.
Gripping their little claws.
Got those little pinches.
But now here's the question. They have gone essentially everywhere. Where else can they go? They have to hit a wall at some point.
Antarctica.
They're gonna recruit the penguins, mate.
No.
The little penguins on their surfboards are gonna be selling Amway.
They're gonna go to the moon.
Yes.
Gonna recruit extraterrestrials. That's what they're gonna do.
In my first ever Dexter stream, it was on 60 Minutes, and the host of it said, well, if everyone's in Amway, who are we recruiting into Amway? Who's left to recruit?
Yeah.
Oh, Jessica, they are for sure in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That just wasn't in the list for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. Apparently Ireland is too small. All these MLMs don't expand here, so I've never heard of any of them. Good.
Keep them away.
Good. I know that there are some that are big in the UK, so I don't know how much of it would spread over to Ireland. But stay out. Stay out. Huh?
I just said right.
Stay out. The one that I know is big there is the Body Shop one. The Body Shop. They just have a lot of soap.
Oh.
Okay. But it's like you spend too much money on soap, you know?
I saw a saying a while back, and I don't remember who it was, some famous American.
You couldn't have Googled it, buddy. This was
a pretty big speech. You couldn't.
It's a good saying too. It's a good quote.
Oh, God, like you couldn't have Googled it.
And he said, "Make no small plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood. Make no small plans because they don't excite anybody."
I mean, yes and no.
Like,
I don't disagree.
I don't disagree, but also sometimes small plans build up to the big plans. So, I guess. Maybe they're talking about, because when they say stir men's blood, it makes me think like war. So I'm thinking this is like a war quote. Like, so dream big, buddy boy. If you're not dreaming big, they're not gonna want to kerplute for you. I don't know.
Dexter Yeager has compared running his Amway business with his Christian faith in the forefront as a war. He's compared that before because he says, my Amway has God in it. And so I'm going to continue with my faith. And his wording is very war adjacent. And Bill Britt as well talks in war metaphors too.
Okay.
I know that some, like, the more fundamentalist Christians, they will use that war.
Yeah, they use that concept a lot.
It's
like, the war on, not on Christianity, but kind of like the war on God. They'll bring it
always
up.
A war. You're always fighting.
There's always an opposite side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When the world is usually not that simple.
So yeah, that just made me, I'm just like, that it sounded like kind of like war vibes.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, Karina.
And Bill Britt has said you have to stand in the gap. I don't remember what it means. I know I'm looking here. It is a Bible verse, but I don't remember what standing in the gap means. But
interesting.
There is a big focus. A lot of these high up distributors, the ones who are alive now, the ones who've passed away, it sounds like they're in a sermon. It sounds like they're preaching. And if you didn't know they were Amway distributors, you would think that
they're
pastors or something.
Yeah. Or almost like a politician. Like, this is kind of how Biden talks, you know? Like, it's a little, and it's almost stilted is what Max says. Like, there's a lot of pausing after each word, and it's very awkward, but it's intended for impact. This is very interesting. The Amway philosophy is that every day new young people are turning 18. So there's always more people to recruit.
And you prospect everybody, right? We're taught to, anytime or anywhere, you're looking for a new prospect. It doesn't matter if you're like with your kid, use your kid to prospect. Prospect the busboy at the restaurant. It doesn't matter. So yeah, they're right. Everyone turns 18 and then you see people day to day, but not everyone does. Some people work from home.
Yeah. Some people don't like leaving home. Some people have like phobias of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people are still very concerned about the pandemic that is still happening, and they don't want they want to leave their house as little as possible. So why are they gonna, go up to random people that they don't know where they've been, etc.?
Good point.
Yes, Demi, it's spiritual warfare. It turns everything into a conflict in the name of God.
Yeah. Yep.
Very interesting.
We're selling soap. That's all we're doing. We're not like spreading the American way. We're not spreading free enterprise capitalism.
With all due respect, you are selling soap and toilet paper, okay? Tone it down. Let's bring it. I'm not saying that disrespectfully. That's just the fact of the matter.
I am.
Okay, I appreciate that.
It's such an inflated sense of ego, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm doing anything with my channel. I'm just hanging out. I'm not saying I'm changing the world, but everyone in MLM say they change the world.
Exactly. I hope that I can maybe help one person. If I help one person, then I've done my job. But apparently that's not enough. I have to reach for the stars.
To dream big, or small plans don't matter, or whatever the frick he said. Like, bruh.
Good point, Julie. Apparently Biden does kind of talk that way to beat his stuttering, which I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know. It just is a very politician way of speaking. I didn't mean to of it like that. It's just Obama kind of speaks the same way
like
with
the
cadence.
It's like that. Like, they have a very specific beat to the way they talk.
That's why I didn't know or didn't pick it out as any different than any politician, know, because
you still have the politician speak.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But I appreciate that because I didn't I wouldn't have wanted to come off like we're trying to make fun of how he sounds. So thank you.
What we meant. Thank you.
Oh, apparently the quote is by Daniel Hudson Burnham in referencing rebuilding the city of Chicago after the Great Fire there in 1871. See, now that is a worthy enterprise.
That is a worthy enterprise.
Thank you, Ryan. We never would have known this. Thank you. It's funny how he was like, this is probably by some great American.
Great American.
And it was, but we did not know the man. So thank you.
You didn't know the man. He didn't. I'm saying he didn't, not you.
Okay.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm
are you coming for me right now?
No. God, we can have some sibling drama.
Do I have to turn the camera off so we can bicker for a second? I'm joking. That's only happened maybe once or twice. To be fair,
Yeah, we've had to hop off for a second to be like,
are you kidding me?
yeah, no, one time they let a joke run for a little too long, and I'm like, if you don't turn the camera off, I'm going to cry.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought we were joking. That's actually what I called to get my autism diagnosis. Okay.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. Because I couldn't tell that I hurt you, and that made me feel bad. So I was like, okay, let's call him. Yeah, it's the cadence. Thank you. The way that they speak the cadence. The podcast that Julie Anderson was on talked about the religious right televangelist patterns in MLM 2.
Okay. The televangelist speaking patterns.
I always talk about Dexter, but Dexter Yeager, he has this thing 5 to 6 nights a week, right? But he says it very specifically. You have to show the plan, and then he says 5 to 6 nights a week, and he repeats it over and over again, and then you'll hear the murmurs in the crowd, and they just repeat it after him. And it's like a very hypnotic, as Echo said, cadence and rhythm. And I think it's just like get it to stay in your head. Get you to remember it.
There was one video
because you remember I remember songs better than anything. That's why I loved it when my teachers made things into songs. Yeah. I still remember the whole Greek alphabet.
Oh my god, that's interesting. No, I remember again Dexter Yeager. I was pre-watching something that we still have to react to on our channel. It's just a little too creepy. Where he says over and over and over again, diamond. He's trying to tell people that you are going to make it to diamond, so you have to tell and he goes diamond, and the crowd is chapping and clearing and diamond.
Is that what I heard that one night? I was like, girl, what are you watching?
It's a horror movie.
I was like, are you actually watching a horror movie right now without me? And they're like, no, this is research, baby.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
Dexter Yeager. Yeah, it's very intentional.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Clown Town is breaking up.
Clown Town is breaking up.
Sorry, guys.
The biggest breakup since One Direction.
Not One Direction.
I'm Zayn.
That was a big deal.
That was a huge deal.
I cried. Okay.
And yet, when I see this business, I got to tell you, we thought we had a big plan, but when you start a business like this, you're just trying to survive. You're trying to make a few bucks so that you can afford to reinvest and advance the business. And only because we saw what you are doing did our vision enlarge.
Only we
saw... Can I make a joke right now?
Wait, let Heather speak first.
I'm sorry.
Only when we saw distributors recruiting thousands and thousands of people, we're like, oh, we can be rich off of this, off of your suffering, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, people are actually recruiting people and getting even more and more and more into the business. We can use them even more.
Mm-hmm.
We can just keep milking them. Mm-hmm. I'm just not dreaming big enough. See, like, he's framing it like it's a good thing, but like, no,
this is not a good thing.
You saw that you could go global. You saw that you could do all of this just to make, like you said, a buck.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Sorry, I was gonna make an erection joke, but I probably shouldn't.
He's so bad. I appreciate the restraint, and I thank you.
I'm trying.
You're doing better.
I'm doing better.
You're being a better person. I'm joking.
Rich and Jay had a lot of business experience when they came out of the war. They all often talk about, oh, we weren't even pilots, but we made a flight school. And so we figured it out without being pilots. And therefore, you can figure Amway out without knowing everything or something along those lines, right? And I'm like, that's different, though. You just have to hire the teachers and the pilots.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
It's not. That's like comparing apples and sushi. Like, let's be freaking real here.
I agree.
And yeah, I completely agree, Ryan. Quote unquote, when you make a business like this, all you're trying to do is survive. You mean a business that scams people and a lot of outside people don't agree with and want to get rid of.
Right.
Totally.
Also interesting, he's speaking about it from a distributorship point of view.
Mm.
He's saying like, oh, you're just trying to survive and scrap up and make it to the next level. Like, that's not what you're doing, buddy. You're the corporation. You are the founder, okay? You are not worrying about making it up to the next level. You are the top level, buddy.
To where we could have big plans and have the magic that stir men's blood to greater achievement. And so every time we achieve and we see people who achieve, we put new fuel in the engine of this business. And everybody says, if they can do it, I can do it.
He had a story once. Oh, someone came up to me and they were just a lowly diamond. And they're like, I don't think you know my name, Rich. And he's like, of course I know your name. He's saying, it doesn't matter if you're the top or the bottom. You're all equally important. I'm like, no, fuck you. Dexter was more important than someone at the bottom rank because he made you millions of dollars. So no, the top people are important. I don't know why I said that. I don't even remember what he just said.
No, you're good.
He's basically trying to make it seem like he cares about all of them equally.
Yeah, like, oh, everyone's equal here. If you can do it, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, they see someone succeeding. If they can do it, I can do it too. And that's what's keeping the machine of the business going.
Yeah.
Yeah, capitalistic machine, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not like Dexter was in for like a million years at this point, and that's why he made millions of dollars from his downline. It's not like he joined in the 60s.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you know, one of the top people in Mary Kay is Kristen Sharp. Her mom was one of the top people in Mary Kay. Same thing with a lot of the top girls that are in Mary Kay now. Their moms were the top girls too. And they're able to tell them how to run the business. So whether you have a leg up through social media, through family, through social connections, like your experience maybe making it to the top of the MLM doesn't mean that other people can just do it easily.
Exactly.
Hello. Tori is hanging out on her last day of work at work, the place that actually makes me consistent money. That's not an MLM. Love that for you.
Right.
Get that paycheck.
Get that paycheck every 2 weeks. Most people get it every 2 weeks, Joe.
Yeah.
They asked me to talk about the first circle because that's the theme that we're working on.
Why did he pause so much?
It's called cadence.
That's why I wanted us to speed it up.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, you told me everything. I totally forgot. I knew there was something that I was forgetting to do. I totally forgot.
He's
It's
too
okay, it's
slow.
okay.
I've had him at 1.75 before. And he
I had a
sounded
teacher, dude. I had a teacher that I had to put on 2 times speed. Straight up. I'm like, no, I cannot learn through like this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm here, just 1 second.
Oh, you're fine, love. Don't worry about
worries.
it. But yeah, no, it's just like the circle. What is the circle?
The first circle.
The first circle, is that like the top group of people?
I think it's gonna be the
Is that
people
what
in
you
your
talked
immediate
about?
circle. From what I've listened to in the previous. No?
No, I think it's like you are your first circle and you need to make your first circle with customers, is how I understood it.
Okay.
But it's objective. Maybe I misunderstood it incorrectly and we can see what everyone else thinks. But I think
I trust you more than
the
I
first
trust myself at this point.
Yeah.
Because you know a lot more about the first circle of hell.
Yeah, we're going into Dante's Inferno, everybody.
That's a great book. I did
Great
not
book.
understand it, and I was like, this freaking smacks.
It was amazing.
Oh, Ryan, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Speaking of
Paycheck.
paycheck. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yay.
Thank you.
Our business has grown all over the world. It has not grown properly in the United States. And so we are trying to refocus our energies.
AKA the international markets have burnt out, so we got to come back.
Right.
Come back begging and pleading to our American comrades who are sick and tired of hearing about Amway because we all know about it. So that's why we put Quickstar on our little podium. See?
Did everyone know about it in early 2000s though? I don't know. I don't know if they did.
That's
I don't know
true.
if it was common knowledge at this point.
That's true.
Yeah. I feel like because it's harder to research because like We had internet in early 2000s, but it was not fast.
Yeah.
We didn't have like fancy computers, so I don't know if we'd be able to like find high quality info on it.
Yeah. Especially
okay.
if they're changing the name, it's going to be a lot easier for them to swindle people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just thank you for letting me pay to be your friend. You're welcome.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Can't wait for next month.
Thank you. And thank you for joining my downline.
Yeah.
You have one doula.
You have
That's more than people in Amway make, right?
Unfortunately, it's
Oh, get him.
Oh, get him.
Get him, girl.
Get him, Heather.
Back to the first circle. They say the first circle you got to pay attention to is the person you sponsor.
Okay.
Oh.
The first person you recruit is the first circle.
Maybe I'm wrong too.
So Lushy would be my first circle because she was one of our first.
Yeah.
Okay, my first. No, I'm joking.
No, you would be my first circle because I'm the reason that you're streaming. So
It's
you would be
true.
my first circle.
Okay, true.
Lushy would be your first circle. There we go.
Tish remembers hearing about Amway in the early 90s in bumfuck nowhere, Australia. And I mean bumfuck. Tish can't even get an Uber. Tish tried to get an Uber and there weren't any, okay? So if she's hearing about it, it's gotta have spread.
But the first circle is your circle. So whenever you think of that circle you're looking at, that I'm in, well, I'm the first.
Where was the joke?
Where are the jokes?
I did not
Maybe
see
he was
it.
looking for the circle. He was like,
Oh, okay.
He was looking for the joke.
You know what? Why would I try starting my stand-up career at an actual stand-up comedy place when I could just go to an MLM convention?
Right.
Yeah.
My
material,
material-
so real.
My material is gonna smack. It's the circle of life. Yes, please drop any songs about circles in the comments below.
Yeah. Throw that ass in a circle.
No.
Throw that ass in a circle.
Circle, okay?
Sorry, okay.
You think of what's in your circle. And you have to, as you all in this room, understand the concept of the business. You are rewarded in relationship to what you have.
Sorry, cousin.
I just made the worst joke. I got two circles right here.
No,
I'm so sorry.
we got €2 for Sprite. That's why Gus was laughing earlier. Okay, let me turn the camera off so Gus can collect himself.
Chill out.
You need some Sprite. Here you go.
Oh my god.
Have a Sprite.
I'm
I'm glad we're laughing. I'm glad we're
I
laughing.
needed this.
I'm glad we're
fucking
laughing.
needed this. I've had a terrible day.
But
It's
we're
okay.
having
We're
fun.
good.
having
We're
fun.
good now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the echo chamber they're in is the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that almost had like, you must laugh at my joke. Like,
Yeah.
do you think that, you know, in Shrek when they have the sign it's like laugh?
What? No.
Boo! You think they have the
Bet you they have that sign.
they do that in okay, I didn't realize that the Bill Maher show was a terrible show. So when in school I got an invitation to go to the Bill Maher show, I was like, okay, whatever. So I went, okay, and they literally had a sign that said laugh, boo. And I'm like, dude, if your jokes are that funny, I will laugh. I will boo. You know what I mean? Don't tell me what to do. You know?
You know where they probably had one of those, and it makes me kind of sad. I Love Lucy. They probably had one of those.
But I don't think they had the technology.
A little flash sign. Laugh.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Come on.
You're right.
Give them some credit.
You're right.
Oh my god, I look back on some of those episodes and I'm like, why was she doing that dance? Why was she doing that
Oh,
dance?
no, really?
Yo.
No, Lucy.
Lucy, no.
Lucy.
She did a whole Hawaiian thing. they were dressed up. No, okay. And I'm like, no.
Okay. Can we please talk about
we
the
can
thing
stop
at
talking
hand?
about it. Yes,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. I got
in
sidetracked.
your circle. The Jaegers are being honored with 60 FAA points now.
Wow.
I have stuff to say about that.
Go ahead. Please. Speak it.
FAA, Founders Achievement Awards. It's when you get a certain number of points for people you directly sponsored hitting certain ranks, and they're hard to hit these ranks. You get, 1 point for every frontline direct / platinum, 1.5 for every emerald, 3 for every diamond.
And he got like 60?
Yeah, and apparently that was the highest it's ever happened, that's ever been. It took Dexter approximately 40 years. He stood on stage with his sons and his wife with about $3 million in cash, saying, if I can do it, you can do it too. But it took him 40 years. And he got like $3 million in cash on stage handed to him by Doug. He got like a bunch of cars, stayed at a beautiful hotel, and like diamonds. Like his wife Birdie got a crap pile of diamonds. And I'm like, if that doesn't scream like money laundering, like, I don't know what does. And so I wonder if is this the same event? If so, that's so cool that we just magically found 2 videos from that event.
Yeah,
well, because it might be.
It seems like it is. Yeah,
it seems like it is. This is where he's getting his big award, so that would make sense.
That's so
They're giving him money and stuff.
That's so
And you get these points by the your direct downline hitting certain ranks.
Oh my gosh!
And
how much you want to bet they stacked?
Yeah,
just saying.
And these are the same because again, he's a Republican donor, and a lot of the Republican ideology is, well, we don't have enough money to pay for things. People need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but they're just handing people $3 million for having already made money.
Like, why don't you give it to the people that aren't making money in your business?
You know, people who are struggling, people who need a little bit of extra help. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll.
Anyone but Dexter Yeager?
Yeah, he doesn't need $3 million more.
He does not need that. His wife does not need a pile of diamonds. Okay,
a pile. And there used to be this website called the Unofficial Amway Wiki, and I wanted to go find that because there's this chart that tells you the financial reward you get for each stage of the FAA points. It's gone.
No.
That's
you know what?
Maybe for the other video. I was so mad.
Look, I do not like using Reddit because people can just be mean on there, and it can just be like it can also like I do not get into any rabbit holes like I do on Reddit. It's ridiculous. I will be there for like 3 days straight.
Reddit is like TikTok for me.
But
that's how I feel about it.
Maybe I could find it on Reddit. So if you want to email me with that, I will look because maybe somebody on Reddit saved it. You know what I mean? I don't know why I have a feeling if it's anywhere, it's on Reddit.
If it's anywhere, it's there.
I was so sad because I did so much research there and it was just gone.
Dang. But you know what? It's not for naught because he brought it up pretty early on. You know what I mean? So thank you. And I just want you to think about that while he's glowing about this. He's about to hand this guy $3 million and a pile of diamonds.
And didn't you say cars too?
And cars. And oh my God.
Well, all these people have to clap at their low paychecks.
Yeah.
Echo, Tish suggested the Wayback Machine.
Oh,
I don't know how to use it. Maybe my husband can help me.
Okay, I'll look too. I know how to put stuff on there. I don't know how to see if something's on there already. So I'll look.
Okay.
Nobody has ever achieved 60 FAA points.
But you're going to also say that everybody can do it because he can do it.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
Dexter's like, me being on the stage is proof. I'm like, no, you were in it for 40 years, sir.
You were in it for 40 years and you had whatever connections that you had. You got in the 60s. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
And wow, you and Gus, you were in this video a bit too, but we did the stream, I think it was back in June. It was about Brit Worldwide, right? And those scammy companies operate kind of separately from Amway, but underneath the Amway umbrella.
Right.
They're like Amway motivational organizations where Dexter would sell like tapes and books and conferences, and he made the majority of his wealth from his Amway motivational organization, not his downline. So he got to 60 FAA points because people saw his extravagant lifestyle that he got from his other company, wanted to join him and do it too, and they couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
so
that's how he
bad.
got this fancy award, not because he's talented, but because
Yep.
he like, double scammed people.
Yeah.
And the MLM industry is so good at smoke and mirrors.
Mm.
But to be honest, like every industry uses it.
Yeah.
Like there are so many YouTubers, like Peter Mon has been talking about this, who will buy views, who will inflate how many views that they get, so it looks like more people are watching it, so that encourages more people to watch their videos.
Yep.
And it's like, that's not how that works, you know? And I'm sure there's a lot of MLM people who feel like the need to do that because of the pressures of needing social media to do well and etc. And it's just like, if this was such a good industry, then you wouldn't need to be using smoke and mirrors. And if things were fair on YouTube, in my opinion, people wouldn't need to use those kind of tactics.
I did a video on an MLM consulting firm. So they help MLMs start, like startup MLMs. It's so fascinating. And the company was like, you need to work on your social media. And then it was like, here, go to this website. We clicked on it and it was like, buy ads, buy likes, buy views, buy subscribers. And we're like,
no way.
Yeah, so this firm is telling MLM startup companies to buy their social media followings. I'm like, fascinating.
That is
fascinating.
And sometimes you look at some of these big people, and the amount of followers that they have does not match the engagement.
Exactly.
And that's one of the signs that they might potentially be buying followers. Because if it was real, then the engagement would match a little bit better, you know? Unless there's some other kind of reason, like sometimes there are people on YouTube who have had channels for like a really, really long time. So their engagement is a little bit different, but usually there is an explanation, and if not, then it's because they're buying followers.
Yeah, 100%.
The reason for that is that their circle is full. It's important to have the circles fill of all your people. But all of your people will not fill those circles unless you fill your circle, because they follow you.
So is he saying you need to recruit a bunch of people and
that'll get your recruits to recruit a bunch of people?
He hasn't fully explained what a circle means.
No, he hasn't, not yet. Because I thought I understood it. I thought it was like we're our own circle and we need to fill it with customers.
Yeah.
And then he's saying your first circle is the first person you sponsor. And then it's like, you need to fill circles. And it's like, wait, but I thought a circle was just one person. Why are we filling
so confused?
See,
because in the Amway plan, a circle is one person.
So why do we need to fill? Okay, so we need to put circle with one. Okay, I'm sorry.
Lots of circles.
MLM terminology just does not make sense, and it's that way by design, and it makes everything harder to. If you can't even describe what you're trying to talk about, it makes it a lot harder for your experience to, you know. It just,
Agreed.
I think that's why Scientology is so crazy. Sorry, I don't like using that word, but I watched a live today. They incorporate reincarnation, which I don't think reincarnation is wild, but alongside everything else with Scientology, it is used in wild ways, in my opinion. Like, you should not have children feel pressured to come up with their past life name.
Yeah.
No. You know? That's not cool.
No.
Reincarnation, fine. The way it's used in Scientology,
not fine. Yeah.
And it's just all of this jargon. It just makes it hard to explain your experience, and it's all on purpose.
For sure.
They finally do what you do, not what you tell them to do. It's when you grow that they grow.
Oh, so you can tell them all you want to grow, but unless you get better, unless you do the work, unless you are just a perfect little bean, nothing's gonna work for you.
But you're not telling me how to do it, Rich. You're just telling me to do it.
That's the glory of it. You have to find it in
Everyone
yourself.
says this. Beachbody friends say this too. They're like, you have to be at the front of your downline, or else no one's going to do what you want them to do. So if you want them to get 10 Success Club points, you need like 40.
That's ridiculous.
Like, that's
you know what? Ray actually said this too. He said this too in a recent video, and he said the greatest model that there ever was Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, yep. So maybe he heard this, and yeah. Let me guess, you're not racist because you have a black friend. No, I'm not racist because I was Rosa Parks in my last life. I'm sorry, you need to keep Veronica Bay's personal DMs out of our chat. And if you don't know why I'm saying that, it's because Veronica Bay has compared herself to Rosa Parks before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And with like full seriousness, like in
Her whole
full
chest.
sincerity,
Her
her
whole
whole
chest.
chest, she compared herself to Rosa Parks. And I'm
Oh,
sorry,
no.
no black woman would probably do that. So to
No.
not even be a black woman is just so disrespectful. So disrespectful. That was one of the last videos we did. We were so mad. We're like, are you kidding me? Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Okay. Rosa Parks.
And I have watched this business for 57 years.
50, okay.
It is the only business, except the first couple that Jay and I were in, that we know. I was 23 and Jay was 24 when we started.
And 24. 23 and 20. Can you imagine being 24 and being like, well, let me start this Amway thing. Hop-a-de-doo.
And they were in Neutralite before. So he was 24 when they started Amway. 7 years prior, they were in Neutralite. When you in World War II, could you be in the war before you were an adult? Because he must have been like a child when he was in the war. Like, I don't understand.
With this timeline that he's giving us?
Right.
Yeah.
With this, okay, we got 24, 23, 21, 20. Sorry, I can't even count. Never mind.
24,
22, and was Rich DeVos.
19, 18. So he was 17 when he joined Neutralite, but he was in the war.
He was born in 1926, and he joined Neutralite in 1952.
52.
So no, okay, no, Wikipedia must have been wrong.
Maybe there's something wrong with the.
There's something went askew somewhere, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
And you know what? Demi might be right that some people probably enlisted before they were of age.
Oh yeah,
and they probably were not checking.
Especially depending on what war it was. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
they probably
didn't
were
give a
not
shit.
checking. They were like, "Let's get you in here. If you can hold something, let's
Right.
go."
If you
I
can
think
hold
it's
your head
fine.
up, you're
I don't
good.
think we messed up too badly because 1926 he was in the war starting in 1944, so he was 18.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe. Yeah. There's some.
I was like, oh no, am I claiming he was like 10 when he was in the war?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
They let
Yeah,
they
people
let
did
it.
fake identification, but you could also enlist at 17 with parent permission.
Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
He's just had so much like adult experiences by the time he was 24.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know
It's
times
like,
were different,
damn,
but he was
all
like
that?
in the war. He was in Neutralite. He started his own company all at
Yeah.
the age of 24.
James Charles is also that age,
Mm.
and people want to call, but James Charles is still so young. Dude, by that age, this guy had been in the war, had started you know what I mean? I'm not saying that 24 isn't young. I'm just saying, like, don't baby people who are that age because they have had
Yeah.
plenty of life experience, and more in some cases than others.
Yep,
Yeah.
But James Charles knows better than what he's doing now.
for sure. But yeah, it's just crazy to think. It's crazy to think. 24, starting his own company. I wonder if he knew. He probably knew because in Neutralite, he must have been making some money before. So he probably knew, I'm just going to continue this and I'll be rich.
Yeah, but I don't know if he ever knew this is going to be the blueprint for the MLM industry.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew that far.
No.
into it, but
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous to see how it's all played out. Like a 24-year-old, basically, a 23 and a 24-year-old started the blueprint for the MLM industry. That's crazy to think about.
Exactly.
I said, all we've done all of our adult life. And so when you talk about the security of the business and how will it last and how will it go, well, I don't know anything except that it gets bigger.
Well, you are one of the corporate members, buddy boy.
Mhm.
You are not in a position where you could get kicked out at any point for breaking a rule arbitrarily.
Mhm. And when I did a video on the founding family people, and the board of directors is like all the DeVosses, pretty much. I'm trying to find the board. My point is like the families are all over the business now, and okay, maybe not the board of directors, but there's a lot. Oh, board members. Yeah. There's Steve and Doug, and then Dan DeVos, Barbara Van Andel, Gabby, David Van Andel. They're still all over the company, and then the grandchildren are all over the company still.
Wow.
And they probably try to make it wholesome, like, oh, this is like a family run
They
and
do.
owned
Yeah, they do.
business. When it's like, it's just a corporation like any other corporation. They've just kept it in the family.
Yeah.
They just
It's
like
not
nepotism.
exciting. It's not brilliant or exciting. Like
No.
like Amazon is run by someone in a family,
Wow. You know what I mean?
right?
Like family-owned businesses can do something wrong too. Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, nepotism is its oldest power. Let's be real here.
Mhm. And yeah, the grandkids are like big in it with like mentorship and apprenticeship things, and like the grandkids are also celebrities too within it.
Yeah.
So strange.
So weird how they turn them into celebrities. Like, I already don't like influencer and celebrity culture, but like it's even weirder when it's the MLM people, in my opinion. Because at least it's like, well, I guess sometimes with the MLM people they connect because of their personality, but usually it's literally like they wouldn't give them a second notice if they weren't like at the top of the company.
Oh, for sure.
And that's really sad.
For sure. Okay, I'm ready.
Sorry.
And that it gets better. And that's because of what you do, because you are filling your circle. Now, I always take that back to when we began in the business and think in terms of our personal business. When we began, we started full-time in this business.
In Nutrilite.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Nutrilite here. In 1952, they started full-time in Nutrilite.
That makes sense, because I was about to say, well, duh, you're running a corporate company.
Right.
But, you know, it would make it a little bit clearer for people who don't know that story to not conflate. But maybe for people who don't know and who would be turned off by the idea that he was in another MLM, maybe it's a little bit easier for him to keep it vague.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. And it took me a second to realize what he was talking about. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew that.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
By the way, I want to thank my upline, who's been dead for 25 years. And his upline, who I don't know if he's living or dead. I know my upline because he was a good friend, and I have a relative who gets some of the dividends from his upline income yet.
I'm sorry.
Obviously, your uplines passed away. You were in it in the 50s. They were probably a bit older than you. Obviously, he's passed away.
Like, let's have a little bit more reverence for the dead, my God. He's just like, hi, shout out to my upline. May he rest in grave. Like, oh my God. Have some food.
And then, like, one of his relatives getting dividends from the business.
What? Let's have some food.
Come on.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, whoa. Sorry, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Woo.
That would have been me.
I think you two would have fun with a Dexter Yeager speech because this is tame.
Really?
No, he's a lot. He's definitely more our style.
Yeah, I like that.
Diamond. No, it's gonna haunt your dreams, but it's a good one.
It's a good one. Make a horror movie out of that.
Yes.
Oh my God, we should make a horror movie out of that.
Diamond.
We'll be like those YouTubers that made a movie.
It's called Talk to Me.
Apparently,
it was released this year, and it's a very good film. It's their first studio film.
Oh.
I don't watch horror movies. I'm trying to keep up to know with the times, okay?
And it is one of the 3 or 4 founding principles of the business when we look back at it, that talk about filling the first circle. We went through a stage to where we wanted to just get more people, but we forgot to fill the bucket of our own so that they would fill their bucket. And so too many people didn't make any money.
He didn't
Oh,
know how many founding principles. He said the 3 or 4. There's 4: freedom, family, hope, reward. There's 4.
he doesn't even know.
You should know that.
Girl,
We know that.
Did you find this thing? You should know. You founded this company. You founded these principles, girl. Oh my God.
And also,
And
he
he's
still
going to say a
hasn't
lot of people
explained
didn't make
circle.
money. Sorry.
Yeah. No, like you said, he's gonna say he didn't explain the circle. He's gonna say a lot of people didn't make money. Oh, but it's because you didn't fill your own bucket. You didn't fill it with oranges.
What?
Remember that? You remember the proof
Oh,
guy filling it
that's-
with oranges?
No, that's Doug.
Was that Doug? Never
Doug,
mind, I'll
Doug
give
was
you up.
filling it with oranges.
He was filling a bucket with oranges and
Trying
making a
to
very
explain-
charged thing.
He was
It
trying to
weird.
explain recruiting, and he's like, "You gotta fill your bucket with oranges."
They love that bucket metaphor.
They do love buckets.
They love buckets.
They love buckets.
But
Oh my
I'm just like, so it's all leading back to you. People didn't make money because you didn't fill your bucket.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
because it's a bad business model.
Yep.
It's because you didn't fill your circle, you didn't fill your bucket, you didn't fill your coochie or whatever you want to use as the thing.
But again,
You
he's,
didn't fill it.
he's still not explaining what filling the circle means, because he said at the
Mhm.
beginning, filling your first circle means recruiting somebody.
Yep.
And so obviously, okay, if you're getting a bunch of people in, everybody's recruiting somebody. That's the idea. So
Yep.
if they're recruiting somebody and not making money, then what is the goal?
Yeah. This makes no sense.
And they say if you follow the systems, you'll make money, right? And so if you, in our last stream, if you submit to your upline and to Amway, you will make money, right? And so we just have to follow what he says, fill the circle, whatever that means, right? Just listen to Rich, and then we will find financial success. We will, because it's that easy. But they all say that, like so many of MLM speeches today, you'll hear echoed from speeches in like the 70s and the 80s in Amway. Like it's all the same ideologies, it's all the same narratives, but just like
Yeah.
changes a little bit. So interesting.
Yeah, like we're in 2023. This video was in the early 2000s, and yet we're still hearing a lot of the same stuff that we would have heard in a video recorded on an iPhone 15, whatever iPhone we're on. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of it is the same stuff, and it's because
It
this
is.
is the same industry it's always been.
Mhm.
And a lot of it is because of this freaking guy. Dang it.
Dexter as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
I feel like I don't know if this is actually true, but my understanding, like in my opinion, there would not be MLM coaches if it wasn't for Dexter and Bill Britt.
I mean,
Because
it
they
makes
started
sense.
the tool scam. They started it, right? And it's the exact same kind of narrative we're hearing now from like Bob Heilig or Ray.
Yep.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah.
That was the blueprint, and it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does make a lot of sense.
The goal in the business is to help other people make money.
Then, okay, again, your income. Why does your income disclosure statement? Should I pull it up just for the people?
Just for the fun of it, I think you
Yep.
should pull it up.
I think you should.
Don't you have it saved?
On a different computer, unfortunately. Okay, we got the 2022 income disclosure statement. Let me just.
Is it for the whole world or just the United States?
I think it's just the
It's
United
just a
States,
U.S. income disclosure.
Okay.
but it's a good. It's an idea.
I'm excited.
Let's see. 2022 US income disclosure statement. Okay, let me remove this from the stage for now, and let me see if I can share something else.
Just
Let's
click add,
see.
maybe?
Oh, you're so smart. Present. Share screen. Okay, we got this. We got this.
Oh, but then it'll show everything.
Hopefully.
Oh, wait, no. Okay. Slay.
Let's see.
Slay.
Haha!
Let's
Okay.
go.
The Amway business is based on product
I'm
sales.
taking myself off camera so I can read this. It's so small.
Oh, you're
Okay,
good,
no
love.
problem.
You're
Yeah,
good.
sorry. Let me see if this will make it bigger. Question
It's
mark.
okay. It's okay.
What about
Oh, yeah. Control plus. Or
Control
whatever.
Plus? Ooh,
Is that better?
there we go. Okay, that's not perfect, but it's a little better. Okay.
That's much better. Thank
It's
you.
based on product sales. As an independent business owner, IBO, you cannot earn compensation by merely sponsoring or recruiting others. You can earn money in the following two ways.
You can apply a retail markup on the products you sell to customers, and you can get sales commissions, sometimes called bonuses or incentives, based on your product sales and the product sales of those in your sales teams. Now, does this count inventory as product sales? I would love to know.
I did a video on this a million years ago, but I feel like every MLM counts customer sales when it's just like your downline buying their volume requirements.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they like to say, oh, we don't get paid for recruitment, but you get paid when your recruits buy shit.
Yep.
Yep.
And then people say, oh, well, we don't encourage front loading, but it's like, but they have to buy the product in order to even get their money.
And in Amway, you have to replace all your household goods with Amway. Like I don't remember what year, what decade that was in even, but like that upline was saying you have to like go to your downline's house and say like replace your shampoo.
That is so creepy.
So
Isn't it?
bad.
So just to register and renew, it's $76
Yep.
a year. So that's already going to be taken out of your expenses. The average income in 2022 for all US IBOs at the founder platinum level and below is $852 before expenses. So remember, you're buying toothpaste,
Shampoo,
toilet paper, toiletries, all of that.
Tool scam conferences, Amway conferences.
Yup.
Scam memberships. Yep.
Yep. If you're buying social media stuff, you have to buy all of that.
Yep.
And this $852 is inflated by the top people. We have to remember
Yeah,
that.
average.
Yes. So that's the average number. If we had a median number, then it would be a little bit easier. Let me look at this chart right here. What's the average annual earnings for those who received a payment in 2022? The top 1% of IBOs, so like the very top people, the average was $8,422 and the median was $56,096.
And that's fine if that was your after expenses income. Like where I am at least, you can make a good living on 56,000 Canadian dollars. As long as you don't have like kids you're taking care of.
Right.
Or if you're not like the sole income earner, you know?
Yeah.
If it's just like you and one kid or you as a single person, that would be fine. 87 is a crap load of money where I am, right? But that's before expenses. And that's the top 1%.
Yeah, that's you know,
that's the thing. It's a livable income, but for the top 1% of everybody.
And they have to be doing a lot of work. Like they're
Yeah.
constantly working. It's not like they have the time freedom.
No.
So we get to the top 10% of IBOs. The average, look at how the average drops. For top 1%, it's $87,000. Top 10%, $14,552. And the median, a whole $10,000 lower is the median. So I'm glad that they're showing us this. $4,610. And that's annual. That's what you get for the year.
Yeah, it's
most
not
people
monthly.
can't live off that. Yeah.
Oh my god, and for top 50%, the average is 3,452 and the median is 679. And that's for the top.
This would be fine if it was like an actual side hustle, if we're like making Etsy crafts for fun and we're like about it, or we're like babysitting, or you know, like working part-time at the Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just starting up, you know?
Yeah, like my Hot Topic job, you know? Like, that's fine. I was young.
Something where you're just starting to make some money, but it's not necessarily like you're trying to make a living yet.
Yeah.
But if you need to make a living, like Sean said, $14K is below poverty wages, at least in the United States. I'm not sure what country you're speaking from.
For sure. And like if you $14K in like New York City, you're doing nothing with that.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Like, I don't know, Georgia? I feel like that would be
maybe more doable.
That up.
Yeah. It depends on location. It depends on if you have kids, if you have certain needs, you know, people with disabilities, like they need certain access in their house and stuff like that. And that get really expensive, medical costs. There's a lot of things that depend. Yeah. Sean made that in 1999 working part-time at McDonald's.
Wow.
They want to shame that job so much.
Yeah.
The fact that it drops that much at the midpoint by 31K, that's pretty mad. It is. Sorry, Heather. Go ahead.
I was going to say I made $12K in a part-time job.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. I was like, great. I'm supplementing my needs during school. I loved it. But I made more money than the vast majority of people in Amway did.
And you worked way less because these people are working constantly.
Yep.
I worked like 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's doable.
And not to say it wasn't hard work or anything, but you got payment for the work you did.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't hinged on, oh, you need to make this much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have to recruit other people to join my workplace.
Exactly.
PH Actress says they like to fudge the numbers by telling IBOs to claim some of their personal purchases as customer sales so they don't get in trouble with the FTC. So it's actually all based on customer sales, but you're fudging the numbers?
Interesting.
Fascinating. So according to Ove, in the middle of nowhere in Michigan, the entire county has 10K people. A studio apartment is over 1K for over 300 square feet. So
under 300 square feet.
Thank you. So 14K wouldn't even cover rent for a single person in a studio apartment in Michigan.
Yeah.
With a tiny ass apartment. 300 square feet is tiny.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's,
a room, probably.
Yep.
So thank you for that. That's a lot of context.
But
Sorry,
I lived in a 420 square foot apartment, and that was small. I know that's not our point, but it was tiny.
No, but context.
No, context is good. It's ridiculous. And he's trying to act like this is going to be an incredible opportunity for you if you just fill your circle. And it's like, it wasn't in the early 2000s. It wasn't in the 50s, and it isn't now. Oh, this is also good context. If you're the average IBO, you probably spent at least 4K in the year. So the top 10% only probably take home 10K. You're standing on stage telling people that you're wealthy, but you're poor.
Yeah. Some of the uplines tell them you have to follow your fancy uplines around the state, right? So you're like paying for meetings, but you're also driving whatever your upline is, right? And so you have to pay for gas, hotels. I don't know, PH Actress, do people still travel to like living rooms to show the plan now? I'd like to know that, because if they do now, like that's another expense too.
Yeah. And I know some people have written books saying I was telling people on stage that I was a millionaire and I was in debt and broke and not doing well. Like they've written books about their experiences saying that they felt like they had to keep up the pressure, So it is true. There's a lot of people who are on stage telling people I'm making so much money, and they're just not. They're just not. And imagine what you could do with the money that you're spending on all of these Amway products. Like if you're in need of that money, you could put it towards a lot of expenses. You could put it towards your debt. You could put it towards your house. You could put it towards making your kids' lives a little bit comfortable. And if you don't need that extra money, you could do a lot in your community or in international communities. But because of our culture of overconsumption and of individualism, we think, it's okay to spend 4K on these Amway, and it's not. It's a little ridiculous. Like, I want everyone to do what they want with their money. I'm just saying, like, 4K is a lot of money.
With the MLM coaching videos, I'm like, instead of spending 10K for Bob Heilig's amazing life-changing advice, like, you could like start a college fund for your kid.
There's so many amazing things that you could do in the community or for your own family.
Even if it's just like your community, aka your family, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things you can do within your circle.
Fill that circle.
Fill that circle, but actually.
Right.
But actually.
So according to PH Actress, sometimes they still do the living room things, but since the beginning of the pandemic, they've been using Zoom more, but there's still a lot of traveling.
Okay.
And I think that's why we see... for showing the plan. That's probably why we see less Zooms coming out of this company, because, people love reacting to like, sneaking into the Zooms, but we haven't seen so many of those, in my opinion. And I think that's because they do more in person.
And there's also like nothing online about Amway.
No, you always find stuff, you know what I mean? But like, if I don't know things from you, like I have a very hard time finding things, because I go to Instagram or I go to maybe Twitter, and there's maybe a scant thing on YouTube here and there, and that's it. You're not going to find these girlies where you normally find the MLM people. So it's a little bit harder.
It's hard.
But I'm glad that you take the time to do it, because it's really important. We need to get this information out.
Could you put that up?
What?
Could you put that up?
Yeah.
That's good. They're not encouraged to do profit/loss tracking or to really think critically about their spending at all. Instead, they're encouraged to think that spending equals growing your business.
Investing in yourself.
Yeah, you're filling your bucket, dude. You're investing in yourself, and you're just gonna make your business boom. Every 1,000 you spend is an investment. But it's like, okay, I hate it because in some things that could be true. Like, okay, college. If you like what you're doing and you want to go to college, putting that money into college is an investment.
Yep.
So like there is certain tracks of thinking where like, okay, you put the money in, you let it sit, and then you get stuff from it. There are things where that works.
And they say that, and that's how businesses work too, in some sense.
Yeah,
You have to invest a certain amount of money in order to see a return, and some people just don't. And that's the excuse that they use.
Yeah, MLM uses that excuse so hard. They're just like, oh, we're just like any other business. You just have to wait to see your profits grow. But it's like, one, you're not really advertising it that way. You're saying it's quick. You're saying it's like anyone can do it. And then you get in and they're like, oh, well, you just have to invest in yourself. It's like, what? It's so silly. It's so silly. Sorry, I think I was going somewhere else with that, but I don't remember. We can just end it off there.
It's okay. But thank you, everybody, for your comments. We appreciate it. We're having a great time. Let's bring back Mr. Rich. He was just telling us that we can all do incredible and do incredible things.
Yeah.
That the goal of this thing is to make money. And then, income disclosure statement, because that's just not true. I also put it in the chat if you're interested, and I'll put it in the description later. So go check it out for yourself and read the fine print if you're interested. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'm just going to turn off the camera.
Okay.
But if it's okay, you can stay and then we can switch off.
Yeah, sure, because I do have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, one second.
All right. I'm going to leave the camera off there.
Not just get other people to get other people.
But isn't that how you make money?
Isn't that the point of the damn thing?
If the point is to make money, okay, I'm not gonna.
If the point is to fill your circle, and filling your circle is getting people, but also you can't fill your circle and get people without filling your circle first. What?
And Neil just said critical thinking is discouraged. So no one is going to sit there and say, wait a second, Rich, you said it's not all about getting people, but my upline says I need to recruit. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't want you to actually think about what they're telling you and ask questions. Because if you ask questions, you realize it's a scam. And you also realize you were lied to as well. Because time freedom, but then you're showing the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. You're prospecting constantly, using your kids to prospect. And then when do you have spare time? Anyway.
No, love it. Don't worry. You're good.
Thank you.
I'm learning so much tonight. I love this. I don't know much about Amway, so this is actually really great. I love it.
Same.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We have to make and do everything we can to help each person make money.
Well, you wouldn't have started an MLM business if that's what you were going for.
But maybe he's not wrong, because I'm sure some people make money in Amway, but $1?
Yeah, how much money are we talking?
50 cents.
Yeah, is it gonna look like that one paycheck I got when I wasn't at work for a while? So I literally got 50 cents because I literally got taxed all of the money I made off. What?
Because they never quantify it. Sure, you want people to make money, but do you want people to make a living? Do you want people to make a full-time income?
Do you want people to make enough money to actually support themselves, or do you just want them to make a few dollars?
Or enough to continue buying the products and go to the tool scam events?
Yes, enough to keep them in. He doesn't care if it's enough to keep them supported and happy. Yep. He cares if it's enough to keep them in the company. That's so real.
Exactly.
Now, Jay and I started full-time in this business. Jay's mother was a customer. She was using Nutrilite. And she talked to us about how wonderful the product was. And so she said, my relative sold it to me and he wants to talk to you two guys. We had gotten out of our previous business, and we had just gone to South America where our boat sank, and we had just returned. And we were kind of looking around. We started a little importing business, and
Wait, why
His
does he make it?
boat
He makes it sound like he was in so many things. Like, how? When did you have the time, my guy?
Yeah, because when they came out from the war, they tried a couple different businesses, and then those
Mhm.
failed apparently.
Okay.
But I don't know the exact timeline. But they got out of the war when they were like 20, when he was 20.
Okay.
And
So
then
he
in-
had like a solid 4 years before Amway.
Yeah.
Okay, solid.
Apparently he was in Latin America and his boat sank.
Yeah, guys, his boat sank. Shit.
Like, did it actually? Like, where
Did
was
it actually?
he? Was he in the
He said that so
jungle?
casually. It's like, oh,
Because
yeah,
if
my boat
that's
sank.
true, that's terrifying.
No, that's horrifying. That would be traumatic.
Yeah.
I would literally cry. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And, like, was
you're
it a
allowed to be
canoe?
traumatized, sir. You're allowed to be traumatized by the war. Thank you.
Right.
You don't have to say it so casually.
And then this guy came over to see us. Once we saw the plan, we signed up. We never looked back. We stopped everything we were doing, and we said, we're going to do this business full time. Now, granted, we were both single, so that was an easier decision. We had a little money in the bank, and that helped a little bit. But nevertheless, we believed in it enough, knowing no one else who was in the business except our sponsor.
So basically, you're supposed to have faith in them without knowing anything. I hesitate to say blind faith because I know that that's kind of like a. I just don't know how else to say that.
Yeah. Just
You know?
having faith without asking any questions, because in 1952, Rich joined Nutrilite without knowing anything about the business. And he had 5,000 distributors apparently. And so you
Yeah.
can do it too. Like, it's okay if you don't know everything. It's okay if you don't
Exactly.
understand the comp plan.
Exactly. He's literally saying like, "Oh, I went into it without knowing anything."
Yep.
So you can too. Oh my god, this is so bad. All right, Val's back. I'm gonna head to the bathroom. I'll stay here for a second so we can keep commenting.
Okay.
And believed him and got in the business. We went to a meeting in Chicago, big meeting, must have been 100 people there. And the president of Nutrilite and Mighty.
He said, "Oh, it was a big meeting. There must have been 100 people or something."
Amway meetings have like tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
They're
Oh my
huge.
god.
They're massive. And he's like, oh, it's so
Yeah.
funny. But in
Oh.
1952, 100 people was probably a lot for an MLM meeting.
True.
Yeah.
True. I mean,
God.
you didn't have phones, you didn't have
Yeah.
internet,
Yeah.
you didn't have any of that. You had to do everything word of mouth. So
Yeah. So that
Exactly.
actually is a good amount of people.
yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the people who start in an MLM early or in the early days, they'll be like, oh, well, I did it in the beginning when there's no training systems and there's
Yeah.
barely any social media, and I was successful, so you can be too. And I'm like, well, fuck off. No one knew about Mon 8 then. So
Yeah,
that's why you were
exactly.
successful, not because you're
Mhm.
like adaptable and you just figured it out. No one was in it yet.
Exactly.
The market wasn't saturated yet, babes. All right, bathroom time for me. Love you guys.
Okay, I'm here. Hello. Okay, let's
Hello.
go.
Here in Castleberry, which was the marketing company that originally put the concept of the plan of sponsoring together.
Yes, Meidinger and Cassenberry were the owners of Nutrilite, and they even joked to each other about how the plan was just not going to work for the majority of people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know the exact quote, but I remember that they did joke
Oh,
together about it, and I know that that's in Ponzinomics.
Oh.
I'm about halfway through, just
Oh,
because it is kind of dense and there's like a lot of information,
hard
but
to
it's a
read
really good
it.
book.
Yeah.
It's a good book. Oh, if possible, you should sneak into one of their conferences. They're huge. Oh, that would be. Oh my gosh. Okay, if I could somehow not pay money, then
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
That's
for
the thing.
sure.
I don't want to give them any money. You know.
I don't know if there's any Amway conferences where I am. I could
Mm.
research it though and see if there's like a free meeting
Yeah.
to go undercover.
Yes, my other thing is we live in a two-party recording consent state.
Mhm.
So both parties need to know in terms of recording. So I
Yeah.
would only be able to save it and like take notes on it, but I don't think that that would be a waste of my time either, you know?
No, you could just like sit there and talk about it. You
Mhm.
don't have to react to it necessarily. You just
Yeah.
need to take really good notes.
Yes, I could just say here's kind of the gist of what happened and here's kind of what
Yeah.
I remember and the vibe. That would be
That would be
interesting.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because so many of their meetings and stuff are not online. We can't
Exactly.
get that vibe. So you kind of have to go.
Yeah.
And we came home from that meeting and decided to stop everything else and said, we're going to give this business all we got. And the first thing we did when we pulled up to a gas station to get gas when we got home was to sell that man a box of Neutralite XX.
My
Ew.
God.
Ew. Look how snug he is. He's like, see, I'm so good. I just know what I'm doing.
We were talking before about Simon and Fraser Brooks.
Mhm.
Simon talked about how, like, oh, if people don't have anyone to add to their list, and you're walking around and you see like a plumber's car or truck, just like call the plumber and like try to pitch them, right? And so it's kind of the same thing here. They use that at gas stations. They just sell the product to the guy at the gas station.
That is so ridiculous. Can you please leave the plumbers of America alone?
Leave
Thank
them
you very
alone. They're
much.
doing important work.
They're trying to plumb, okay? Leave them alone. I'll read the comment from Simon. If you feel, I got this on a reel that I posted a long time ago. I
From
thought it was
Simon or about Simon?
it was about Frasier because I was like,
Oh,
okay, look at this guy. It was just a picture of Fraser Brooks, and I was like, who does he look like? And then I put up a picture of one of the Try Guys, and I was like, look, it's him, everybody. See? Ha
Yeah.
ha. It wasn't even. I don't even think I said anything mean about Frasier. I was just like, these two look very similar. Ha ha.
That's funny.
And then Simon said, if you really feel that hard about Frasier, I used to work very, very close with his father, Simon. As in, I was at his house every other day. I can share a few things with you if you'd like.
Go away. No, thank you.
I'm good. I don't, because what ends up happening is that you're going to try to make me feel bad about my position about being anti-MLM, and you can't do that.
Exactly.
It's too late, okay? I've read far too much. I've heard too many testimonials.
Yeah.
It's too late. You're not going to make me feel bad about my position. I believe in it too much. Thanks for trying. I appreciate the effort, Simon.
And like what you just said does not sound bad. You're like, oh, it looks like this famous guy, because the Try Guys are big on YouTube.
They are. And I was just like, dang, every time I see him, I think it's him. You know what I mean? Isn't that funny? I could have said something, but I really don't think I did. So it's kind of interesting that that's where I got that comment. But whatever. Okay, maybe he just saw that it was an anti-MLM channel. And he was like, oh, let me come. Like, okay, all right.
Now,
sorry, but in that long pause, I probably could have gone to the chiropractor. Gotten a coffee. I could have turned on the hockey game by now. Come on.
Now, I know we wanted to sponsor, but we had to, in those days, get 25 customers before we could sponsor. We eliminated that rule in this business so that you could expedite sponsoring.
Because I don't hate that rule. That's a good rule. Get a bunch of customers.
Because it makes it so that you actually have to have a balance of customers and recruits. And it's not more important to have recruits and customers. But now he's saying we wanted to expedite sponsoring. Well, if sponsoring is not the point, why are you trying to expedite it?
But it is the point, because he was telling us we have to recruit, right?
I don't.
You want to expedite it because he knows that's where he makes his millions, and that's where his family is rich, because of the recruits losing money. I need to turn my camera off because my eyes are dry. I'm going to put eye drops in.
No worries. Put those drops in. We'll turn it off too because Gus is coming back.
I got to take some meds too.
Okay.
Med check.
Med check, everybody. Take
Get
your meds.
Get yourself situated. If you need your eye drops, put them in. Get some food. Get
do
your.
what you gotta do in this moment.
If you need to warm up a heating pad, go do it in the microwave.
It's so dry here in the winter. Like my eyes are just falling apart. It's terrible.
I have to
my
floss.
sunglasses are on.
I have to floss a lot less during winter because my
Really?
gums bleed.
Oh no.
And I love flossing. It means a lot to me, and I can't do it during the winter, and it makes me upset. Yeah, we eliminated the only legitimate part of our scheme.
Oh no.
they
We
used,
eliminated customers. You don't need customers.
they used to have a thing where you couldn't recruit, where you had to have 25 customers per recruit. They had to neutralize, and they took it out so they could expedite sponsor.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Of course, Doug.
Yes, take your blood pressure meds. Do it.
Yes. Do it. Do it now.
But that left us with a big mistake because that drove the business to where people stopped worrying about getting customers. And if you study the business, you know that people who just sponsor and don't tend to the customer don't make any money for a long time, and a lot of them, if not most of them, quit.
That's not true. They make a crap pile of
They
money.
actually make a shit ton, Dog.
Like, if you sponsor, like, what usually happens is, from my understanding, is that people will go wild at the beginning so that they can get those fast track bonuses.
Oh yeah.
And that is when they make the most money, actually, out of any period, because they get bonuses and they get help, and that's when they go through most of their warm market.
Yep, for sure.
I've actually heard the opposite.
And like he's saying, people forget about customers and those people leave. No, they stay because they're making money. That's why Dexter was in for like 50 years.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm not crying. My eyes are just watery from my eye drops.
Oh, you're fine, love.
You're crying because he's so ridiculous. I know the truth. No, I'm kidding.
We know the truth.
And the thing is, wait, if everybody, okay, let's just tell the truth here. We all knew that Jessie Lee was one of the top people in Prove It, and she was always very transparent about she mostly focused on recruiting.
Yep.
Did you ever hear her trying to sell the ketone stuff?
No.
Only maybe every once in a while to people that she already thought would buy it.
Yeah.
Just be
That's so real.
straightforward about how you make your money.
Yeah.
Don't lie and say it's customers, and then someone will come in trying to focus on customers and realize they're not making anything.
Exactly.
Just be straightforward.
Be straightforward about it.
Yeah.
But also she was straightforward about it, but she wasn't straightforward overall because she used a lot of deceptive recruiting tactics. So be straightforward, period.
Yeah.
Don't be straightforward about, oh, you need to recruit to make money, but then lie to people about other things.
Yeah.
For sure. I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom quickly now.
Okay, no problem.
I'll put my camera back on when I'm back. I'll be
all good.
We're about to turn it on in a second. We're just getting situated.
Okay. Sounds good.
Also, I saw that Christina was here. I have a stuffy to show Corinthians if she's around.
So let us know.
So let us know.
If somebody starts to make a few dollars, and I mean $50 or $100 a month, they will stay with you forever as long as they make a little money.
Bruh, you cracked the code. That's literally what Heather and I were talking about earlier. They don't care if you make enough money to make a living. They care if you make enough money to stay in the company.
Yep.
And he literally just said it.
But when we say that, we're the bad guys.
Oh, but when we say that, we are so rude and we're making fun of a dead guy.
Okay. But he literally just said it. So that might be the truth, actually. Thank you very much. If you're not going to listen to me, people who are so angry at me that I'm talking about this, maybe listen to Rich DeVos, yeah, guy.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, Corinthians is here. Okay, we're going to take a quick break to show off some stuffies.
So we have this collection of squishables.
Oh, no.
Squishables,
Sorry.
I think?
Squishables? Yeah, squishables.
Okay, so they have a collection of 5, and we have 4 of 5. My mom has the 4th one. So they have these boys. They're little plague doctors. One of them is a barista. That's the one we don't have. And then we have the little oracle. We have the little demon boy with his little pitchfork.
And then we have
and then my personal favorite, the jester,
because
with the clown down.
So yeah. Sometimes
So-
Corinthians asks about stuffies.
So yeah, I just wanted to show her those. Also, I got Val that cute little boy from the thrift store the other day.
From Animal Crossing.
From Animal Crossing.
He's really
Oh,
cute.
He's a cutie pie. So yeah, I just wanted a little shout out to Corinthians. You're cool. Thank you for
Aw,
being cool.
that's nice.
And
I like
Christina, you're a great mom.
Oh no!
Ah!
No, sorry.
Okay, we got it.
Sorry.
I know.
Whoa. That's true. They're saying you have to worry about the customer. But you can't just worry about sponsoring. You have to customer. But the sponsor is the customer.
Yeah. Wait.
But he's not going to say that. He has to
Why
put them
would
in separate categories because
Yeah.
it's for FTC purposes.
But
you know?
And
FTC.
Dexter said he barely had customers. Like he
Oh.
started off with customers and then it like went like he barely had customers.
He
Oh.
literally just said that you can't start off this business without like you have to
You have to
recruit
have
and sponsor.
customers.
You have to do both.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if
Okay.
you heard, but he said that to keep people in, they just have to make $50 to $100 a month, and they'll stay for the rest of their life.
So they just have to lose money every month.
Yep.
Yeah. It's criminal.
Go
It's
into
criminal.
Horrible
As
things.
long as they make a little something, they're not going to notice that they're
Not
losing
making
money,
anything.
and you're going to
That's
be able
terrible.
to keep profiting off of them.
And two whole families, the Fernandos and the DeVosses, made their fortune off of that happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Made their fortune off of millions of people suffering.
yeah,
And
Ugh.
families being broken up. Like families are broken up over Amway.
yeah. Because people say, "Oh, well, your girlfriend doesn't like Amway. Well, you got to break up with her. Oh, well, your mom doesn't like it. Oh, well, don't talk to her anymore."
Yeah.
Terrible.
Literally. It's awful.
I know you think that if you are an outsider to this, that might sound like ridiculous, but it's true.
It's so true.
People who have been in Amway have told those stories.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, question. Have you been attacked online due to being anti-MLM? Do you want to start first, Heather?
I don't think people care enough about my content to attack me for like being anti-MLM. I've had a few comments here and there where it's like that was silly. Like someone has said, "Oh, you misinterpreted everything that they said." It's not really about like the genre, it's about like what I'm saying.
But
Mm.
see, they are trying to belittle you and make
Ignorant.
you feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does matter.
So it does matter.
Thank
And
you.
even if
it's
they
like-
didn't do that,
It does.
it wouldn't matter, but it definitely does.
I
Like,
like
Yeah.
my setup. People like get upset about my setup.
but we all have to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But-
Not
and you do-
everybody's gonna have the RGB lights in the back and the Elgato
That doesn't
and
mean the content doesn't
the
matter.
like the boom. Come on. But
Yeah.
I personally think if you were making other kind of content, maybe you would get less of those comments being so condescending. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then for us, we have also been attacked for that. We literally had somebody come in our chat and tell us that they were going to come find us and where we
Mhm.
were, and they were going to hurt us,
Yeah.
and that they were
Yeah.
going to serve us a lawsuit and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because they're mad about the person we were talking about.
I remember that.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's something that we were kind of expecting though, and because we,
I wasn't expecting all that. I'm so sorry.
Mm,
I was not expecting all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was expecting like maybe like
lots of comments,
and people just talking trash in general. Like that happens when you're online.
yeah,
But not someone saying that they were gonna come find me and find out where I live and
Yeah.
try to find out who I am. That stuff
Yeah.
I was not expecting.
And the sad thing is, if we vocalize stuff like this, people's response is, "Well, you're on the internet. You should expect that."
Yeah, the internet is a terrible place. That's just what happens.
And I don't think that should be the response. I think that we all need
No.
to work together to make the internet a safe place too. Because if something's not okay on the internet, it's also not. It shouldn't be okay in real life. You know,
Yeah.
The same standard should be held to both. Some people
Yeah.
do things online that they would never do in person, and that's not cool.
That's not cool.
I think it's fair. It doesn't matter how big your channel is for there to be like criticism. Like I think what I get, it's not horrendous. It's like I think you're wrong in this. I think your videos are bad. It's like I think that's fine because it's never been about me.
Mm.
It's never about like you're dumb or
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
where you live.
Yeah.
Like, that's taking
Yeah.
it a step too far. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, you know what? And I've seen even worse things happen to people.
Yeah.
I saw somebody who literally just was commenting on videos, have something written to their house say, "Stop watching videos." Emily Jones does a lot of content on paparazzi, and she had a note out on her car while she was at work.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
people are very, very upset that this information is getting out.
Yeah.
And in a variety of ways, they'll do it, whether it's, oh, I think your channel is stupid and your videos are bad and look at your horrible setup. Like, they think that that's going to get to you, you know?
Yeah.
Or if it's literally doxing and threatening and doing stuff, you know?
Yeah.
They had information control until the internet got a hold of this. And, you know, maybe you're going to stop some of us on YouTube, but the TikTok girlies got this too, okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm joking. If, you know, if any of us stop doing YouTube, it'll be our own decision. It's not going to be because any of these fuckers drove us off. But that's just, I'm just speaking for myself.
Oh, yeah. No. Speaking for me too?
Yeah.
I think that one time that really upset me was like, I think Val, you might have like left a comment or whatever when a bunch of people came into my stream at the same time.
Yeah.
We're like, post this, make a video on this. Or I don't even remember. It was the silliest thing ever. I had like 15 people in my chat, and like 10 of them were just like bullying me online. And it was really weird.
They were trying to tell Heather what to
That was the
do.
worst one.
And then Heather just kept gently being like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then eventually, you eventually blocked. And then she gets a bunch of comments being like, how dare you silence people because they disagree with you or because they're trying to put this information
I was
out.
like, no, you were harassing me, sir. You were bullying.
Girly Pop, you were literally trying to tell me what to do on my own channel.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and you know what? That actually doesn't come from the MLM community. That comes from the anti-MLM community.
Yeah.
So there is also this idea of, oh, well, you are trying to make videos. Well, you have to do it the right way. You have to support everybody that needs to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're not doing it, then you are up on the chopping block as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair. And we've kind of gone through it as well. And I've seen people say, you know what? It could be worse. And I don't think that's fair. And I don't think anybody should say that to Heather. And I don't think that's how that should go. You know, so harassment's never okay for anybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. MLMers think that their business is a mission or crusade. So rational critique is a direct threat in their minds.
Yep.
And I think, unfortunately, maybe some of the people who used to be in MLM maybe are channeling their feelings out on people who make anti-MLM content. Maybe that's just a projection. I'm just thinking out loud here. You know what I mean? And they haven't quite gone through some of those feelings. And so it's like, oh, you have to do this a certain way because they're used to conformity. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud here.
Hey,
hi, Calliope. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome in, mate.
You're not late. I mean, you're a little
late.
late, but no worries.
Well, it's okay, mate.
Hey, mate.
Oh, good.
You're on your time. That's what you are. That's what
Yes.
I may be nearing the end of my energy soon.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
we
no,
can
you're
probably do
fine.
maybe like 5 more minutes if that's okay.
Yeah.
My eyeballs hurt. It's dry, and I'm like squinting.
Oh, you're okay.
No problem. We can just give this guy a few more minutes and then we can wrap up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sounds
See
good.
what other mumbo jumbo he's got to say. See
Okay.
where we can end it
Okay,
on.
last words from Mr. Richard.
Final words.
Oh wait, Corinthians loves the stuffies.
Oh,
Love it. That's so
Oh,
cute.
that's so nice.
But you must help them make some money. That means you have money left over after you pay for everything. Okay?
Oh, but your income disclosure statement is before expenses.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Okay, buddy boy.
And is that the goal? They have something left over after they pay? That's your big goal for us? What is financial freedom, sir?
No, you get something.
You get something.
You get $1.
Yeah, and then they tell you
get a Krabby Patty.
you get worms. That's what you get. And then they try to act like you're not grateful. And it's like, wait a minute. No, you told me that I was going to be able to make more than I could make in my actual job. And now that I'm here, you're telling me I should be grateful for something? No.
Yeah.
It's such a bait and switch. You're like, you can have financial freedom in Amway, and then you join Amway and you do everything your upline tells you to do. Then you make like $5, and you're like, hey, why aren't I making money? Oh, why do you care about money? Because you told me I could make money, sir.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you are also showing me a lifestyle that is like tempting, you know? Like not everybody needs these $1 million lifestyles. Like I strongly, firmly believe that. But if you're struggling and you see like Ray Higdon on his boat and you're like, oh, I want to be Ray Higdon on that boat having a nice dinner right now, it's alluring. Yeah. And then he has the audacity to tell you that you're greedy when you're not making any money.
Well, even in this conference, like they see what's that guy's name? Jaeger?
Yeah.
They see the Jägermeister getting $3 million on stage and they're like,
and
diamonds, man. But he's saying you have to be happy for something.
And freaking they lived such an extravagant lifestyle. And like everyone wanted to be like Dexter and Birdie, not just with their lifestyle, but like their marriage too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the top Amway couples, that people wanted to be like them in their relationship, which is creepy. Because you don't know
in their whole life.
Yeah.
So creepy. PH actor said, I wonder if he's saying this because they want the IBOs to focus on sales. Remember, Rich DeVos and Jay Andel didn't like the tool scam. Because they probably wanted to divert the money back into their own thing. They didn't want it going into the pocket of people on the outside.
Yeah, but I get confused a little bit about why they didn't like it, because people joined because of the tool scam, because of the lifestyle that it bought the Jaegers and the Brits and stuff, right? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know much about that dynamic.
Yeah. It could be a little bit like pride. Like, oh, I wanted them to join like the good old fashioned Amway way, not through the tool scam. Oh, this is interesting. On a late 90s, early 2000s CD, somebody said they were ecstatic for getting a check for $6.50. And they were probably saying, look, I'm ecstatic for getting this check now because
I'm going to get such a big check later.
Exactly. 6 months, it's going to be $650. A year, it's going to be $650,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm grateful for this check now, I'm going to get more money later.
Because you're manifesting it, right? With your gratefulness.
Yep. Yep. And that's so ridiculous because they are trying to lure people in with the idea of financial freedom. And then when they get in, it's like, nope, you got to be grateful for your dollar.
Yeah.
I can't feed my children with $1.
Right?
That's the thing. Like, people are not like, I get it. Like, maybe calling somebody greedy if they're like, oh, but I just want money for my third boat. It's like, okay, you can chill.
Yeah.
You can chill. You have plenty of money. I get it. There is a lot of greed and excess, and people just want more and more and more. That does happen. But I feel like for the majority of people who are in multi-level marketing who get it, they just want like to be able to pay their rent, to pay their utilities, to pay their necessities, and maybe also make their lives a little bit easier and happier for their kids. You know, every parent wants to be able to retirement, you know, or to be able to take care of their own house, you know, go on a vacation every once in a while, maybe be able to like afford to go out to eat every once in a while, you know, like I don't think that that's greedy or selfish.
No. But those kinds of dreams, you have to have huge dreams. You can't have normal everyday dreams.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. That's why everybody's like, oh, I'm going to have the big car and I'm going to have the big, not the big car. You know what I mean?
Big, they might want a limousine.
Like, I want the Tesla. I want the yachts. I want the 2 houses. I want the mansion. And it's like, you don't need that. But that's the culture that's fostered. And it's kind
what about like a Honda?
Hondas are very. We swear
by Hondas.
We all have Hondas. Okay,
yeah. Whole family except my mom.
We love the Honda. It's very reliable. Make fun of me. I don't care.
Yeah,
my car is going to be working until the end of time.
Exactly,
it's like a cockroach.
Right? Yeah, I've had friends who've had the same Honda for like 12 years.
Dude, my dad had his until the bitter end.
I
saw that car age with me. Like, it was great.
Yeah, it was older than we were. And I was like, damn. It took a while.
And then when he wasn't driving it and it was on the driveway, everyone wanted to buy it. People would walk up to our house and be like, hey, are you selling the Honda? And I'm like,
go away.
It's not my car. I'm 6.
I'm a child.
I'm sorry. I don't know what. Oh, wait, this is interesting. This is more about the tool scam dynamic.
Let's do it.
PH actress. The tool scam bought and kept more IBOs in the business,
Mm.
but it gave the tool scam leaders more money and power, caused people to spend product money on tools instead, and was much more obviously a pyramid scheme than the Amway thing. Because of these reasons, it was somewhat of a threat to Rich and Jay. So even though there were good things that came out of it, there were negatives, and it threatened their power.
Interesting.
Thank you so much for that.
Knows so much about Amway.
Yeah, you know
And
what?
Neil as well.
Your chats are always so great because you have a lot of people who understand it, who help you out too. And you also know a lot. And so you all bounce off of each other. And it's really interesting to see.
No, this is great. I'm learning so much right now.
Like I feel like my Amway brain just expanded by like 3 times.
The Mega Mind.
That's also Would you want to do part 2 of this?
Yes. I'm down to keep going. Or we could also do what's the guy that we kept talking about?
The
Jägermeister. We could do him too.
Okay.
We could do the diamond one. Diamond.
I think I've done that one on my channel.
Yes. Okay, let's do a different one.
We can do a different
one. I'm down to do that one if you want to do that one.
We can even just cringe to that in the beginning. That can be in the intro. We can make a little intro of him and just laugh at it. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Do you have anything that you wanted to end off with before we hop off the stream?
No, I think I'm good. It was fun. We learned more about Amway, about Rich.
Yeah, thank you. This was great. Thank you, chat. And everybody, if you're not following Heather, please make sure you do.
Thank you.
We're the Clown Town. Also, if you want to like our stream, like both streams, maybe subscribe so that we could keep getting the word out there about these terrible companies. And yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, if you are interested, we are doing a stream with Tish tomorrow. 7 p.m. PST. It's going to be a front-loading extravaganza. So we're going to talk about front-loading and stuff like that, and maybe how different companies influence different people. What's next on your docket, Heather? Do you know, or are you more of an on-the-fly person?
Kind of on the fly. I'm probably not going to do anything else until the new year.
Love it. So we will see next year. I'm so
just hanging out with the husband until we have to go back to work.
Valid.
Well, rest up, enjoy. Thank you so much. This was great, and we'll see you next time.
See you all next time. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the chats, and thank you, Heather.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.